I'm here to report a terrible crime.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have some breaking news that I just saw on X. This actually is about a couple hours ago. It does say from Tim Pool himself. This was reported on December 6th at 8:02 a.m. It says, last night a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to the appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. Now, there is a report from the Sun saying shock attack. Gunman opens fire at home of right-wing podcaster Tim Pool days after Charlie Kirk's assassination. What's funny about this is that they call him a right-wing podcaster, and he's not. He's actually a centrist. He's like middle of the road. He's a fence sitter. He has a lot more liberal ideology than he does right-wing. So it's funny that they call him that. The reason that the left likes to call him that is because he kind of holds both sides accountable, and the left takes it more to heart than the right. Because if you ask a lot of people that are right-leaning, they'll tell you that he's more a moderate or like a left-wing liberal, like the old school ones. But that's neither here nor there. But let's keep going. So we read the post that he had put. It says on here, a gunman has opened fire at the home of, we're going to just say, middle-of-the-road podcaster and commentator Tim Pool. It comes days after he spoke about the assassination of Charlie Kirk and conspiracies about Turning Point USA. It says, Pool has said on social media that his house in West Virginia was shot at by a gunman who drove up in a vehicle before unleashing an unexpected attack on his property. No one was injured in the shooting. The commentator, with over 1.5 million followers, confirmed, though it is not clear if he or a member of his family were there at the time. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to the appropriate law enforcement. He said, this is the price we pay for speaking out against evil, which is 100% true. Excuse me. This is the one thing that kind of, I don't want to say radicalized me, but pushed me towards doing this, is because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. May he rest in peace. I always thought about doing podcasting, and I kind of kept pushing it off. And when I saw that they silenced Charlie Kirk, I was like, you know what? No, we need people to start standing up and not, just allowing themselves to fall into the shadows and fall behind and stay silent. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and speak my mind. And, if people listen, they listen. They don't. If people critique me, that's fine. I don't care. Everybody has a right to their opinion, just like I do. So I just kind of give you my thoughts and opinions, and I'm just ranting and raving about what I see on the news and my thought process about it, especially somebody who is, I hate using this term, but person of color, an American who lives in America. And, I just give you my thoughts and opinion on what I'm reading or what I'm seeing from different posts, different, outlets, and trying to make sense of the tales that both sides likes to weave, because I've always been told if you get information from the left and right and you mix it together, you'll be able to put the pieces together and figure out what the actual truth is. Now, that's the same with Tim Pool. I've been listening to him since 2017, and he's always just kind of spoke his mind about both sides of the party, and so it's sad to see that this is happening to him. But the one thing he said rings true is that when you speak up and you speak truth to power, people are going to try and silence you because they don't want your message to get out. Like Charlie Kirk, his message was ringing out to so many people, and they silenced him thinking that they'll be able to shut it down now and people won't wake up and realize, what's really going on in this world and who's really pulling the strings. And so people like Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, Black Conservative, ABL, I know there's like a lot more, Nick Shorter, Nick Shirley, Cam Higby. You have all these people that are just speaking truth and showing you, and this is why they're getting silenced, and that's not cool. We need to be able to unite and speak up when, even if they're getting shut down, we need more people to stand up and speak up to the truth, Excuse me. And so I think that it's good that our voices are going out there and being reached by millions, you know. And even though my show is barely in its infancy phase and starting out, I want to be able to speak the truth as well and just tell you guys, hey, this is what's going on in the world. These are my thoughts and opinion. You know, I'm not going to be 100% right all the time. So appreciate all you guys that are listening and giving me your feedback. I really appreciate you guys. And without you guys, I wouldn't be able to reach as many people as I could. So, you know, thank you guys for that. But let's keep going. So it's saying it's unknown if Poole and his family were at the home. We already said that. The podcaster made who huge media empires based out of West Virginia, but public records show he also has links to Tennessee. MAGA supporter and Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote, "This is terrifying. I'm glad everyone is okay. Everyone must stand together against the type of political violence and intimidation, no matter who it happens to, whether you like them or not." General Mark Flynn, a former national security advisor, had urged President Donald Trump to figure out how to return to sanity quickly before worse domestic conditions are created by those who foment false flags, fake crisis for the sole purpose of creating chaos. He added, "This is the sort of madness that occurs in a deeply divided society where the advisors are seeking to create crisis instead of stopping them from happening in the first place." Poole regularly discussed right-wing politics in videos posted to his 1.5 million fans on YouTube. Thus, it comes just days after Poole, a Democratic turned Republican, took aim at MAGA's favorite, including Candace Owens and even President Trump himself. That's because Tim Poole, he again is a fence sitter. He's a liberal, you know, moderate. So he, like I said, takes shots at both sides. He, you know, when he originally started out, he kept telling people, "Stop making me defend Trump," because, you know, when people would lie about Trump, he would have to go and tell them, "No, this is exactly what he said." And, you know, in the time when Biden was in office, he did the same thing. He told people to stop making me defend Biden, because you're going to get honesty for him whether you like it or not. You know, he's going to just tell you like how it is. And that's why I said both sides of the coin don't like him, because they all think he's either left or right, so, or a grifter. But he's just someone that is just telling you how he feels and thinks, and he's somebody who's neither left or right leaning, you know, because he has some liberal policies in his head and some right, you know. But it's just funny to see how they write this article. He added, "This is the sort of madness that occurs in deeply divided." We read that part. Okay, the incident comes just days after Poole and Democratic turned Paula, blah, blah, blah. He mocked Trump's chronic venomous insufficient diagnosis, unconvinced by the bruising on his hand. The YouTuber said, "Do we believe that the handshake hypothesis?" Poole was recently approached by fans on the street who begged him to share his reaction to a bizarre theory circulating online. The young man asked if his former pal and conservative podcaster Candace Owens had gone into hiding after uncovering an assassination plot. Owens believes Israel and French-connected operatives killed Charlie Kirk, the founder of the student group Turning Point USA. Poole is said to have told the fans those claims were not correct and that they were being manipulated by Owens' conspiracy theories. He watched in shock as he began convincing her followers. After Thanksgiving break, she came back online, alleging Kirk had been betrayed by the leadership of Turning Point USA. She claimed that some French connection interests who were behind Kirk's killing were also planning her assassination. Owens failed to present any evidence when addressing fans with her wild claims. Poole said of her conduct, she crossed the line when she said that Turning Point betrayed Charlie Kirk and asked for a refund from this godforsaken organization. She actively now is trying to destroy everything Charlie built. Owens and Poole were once pals, with the political commentator even appearing on his show. So that's what we have so far in regards to this article. Now let me go to the video. This is from Live Now from Fox. Breaking: gunshots fired at home of conservative commentator Tim Poole.
And I do want to take you out to some breaking news that we have been following here as we gather additional details. Take a look at this post here as an investigation is underway after someone apparently shot at the home of well-known conservative commentator Tim Poole. The podcast host has millions of followers all over social media on multiple platforms and has become an influential voice for some conservatives out there. Now, he posted a short time ago this right here on his X page saying, quote, "Last night, a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil." And no question, a lot of folks out there, especially Republicans, are putting out some information here to provide kind of their take on all of this. And I want to pop this up on your screen. This is coming in from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She replied to the comment and said, "This is terrifying. I'm glad everyone is okay. Everyone must stand together against this type of political violence and intimidation, no matter who it happens to, whether you like them or not." And we also have a post here coming in from General Mike Flynn, who did serve under the first Trump administration, saying, "This is the sort of madness that occurs in a deeply divided society where the adversaries are seeking to create crises instead of stopping them from happening in the first place. Glad to hear no one is hurt. We need to figure out how to return."
The problem is that, again, you have people on the right that were trying to calm down the rhetoric. And the thing is that people on the left just keep spewing this. And this is why it's amplifying. You have people that are in politics, people that are celebrities, yada, yada, yada. So you have these people like Brandon Johnson, Governor Pritzker, you have like Nancy Pelosi, Jasmine Crockett, Rashida Tlaib, you have Ilhan Omar, you have Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, you have people like, who else? Like different celebrities, so like Madonna, for example. You have all these different celebrities all spewing the same rhetoric, saying, stuff like, oh, Trump is a fascist, Merkel fascist, Trump and his supporters are Nazis, MAGA are maggots, and they're using all this dehumanizing language, and they're saying that people need to rise up against this, hate. You had even senators, saying to go out and get in their face and that they shouldn't know any peace. You have all these people literally telling these people and riling them up instead of calming the situation, And yet when violence happens, they try to say, oh, it's the right, but it's not. Because the right is not the one going out there trying to murk people. That's the people on the left. And so if you really wanted to quell this, then the people on the left who are in political power, who are celebrities, should be the ones saying, tone down the rhetoric. They should be saying violence won't solve anything, let your voices be heard at the ballot, instead of telling them to get into people's faces, because they're causing these people to get inflamed with anger, thinking that they're doing the right thing by murking these people, and they're not. By saying, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history, do you? Or like these recent senators, the seditious six, saying, disobey the orders because they're unlawful. It's like, you're literally pushing these lies, and you're causing the division and making these people come out and do these things. And you're putting people's lives in danger. But as I said before on my podcast, these people don't care. All they care about is power. And you guys are like, the people on the left who are going out there doing this are basically their hand. They're using their own will against you, taking away your will and manipulating you into doing these things, into causing this harm. And at the end of the day, they're not going to care. They're not going to rescue you if you end up in life in prison, or if you end up in jail, or you end up on death row. They're not going to care. They're going to just be like, oh, well, not my problem. They're going to forget about you. That's how it is. But let's keep going.
Turn to sanity quickly before worse domestic conditions are created by those who foment false flags and fake crises for the sole purpose of creating chaos. Now, he did tag several different people in that post, including President Trump and Secretary Kristi Noem with the Department of Homeland Security, as well as Secretary of Defense and War Pete Hegseth. Now, it's important to note that all of this here is coming months after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who was another big right-wing political voice. The founder of Turning Point USA fatally shot as he spoke to a large university crowd over in Orem, Utah. That was back in September. As for this investigation here, it is still underway, so we are going to bring you any kind of updates, a news conference, or potentially any other remarks here on Live Now from Fox, as we always do.
So this is what's going on right now. So I just wanted to kind of hit you guys up with this story because it's breaking right now as we are moving along. I just wanted you guys to be aware of the situation. You know, I definitely hope Tim and everybody else are okay. Again, this is something that should not be happening within our country, but you know, they're trying to divide us and they're doing a really good job at it because you have a lot of people on the left that are stupidly falling for it. And as I said before on this channel, you know, I personally think we're already in a civil war. Yeah, it's might be a little cold right now, but it is definitely warming up quickly. And, you know, God forbid we go into a hot civil war. But I wanted you guys to be aware of the situation. You guys stay safe. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Till next time, guys.